welcome to Mystery Mike. Thank y'all for tuning in. Alrighty. I have a good one here for you today. I am going to be talking about my grizzly bear attack that I nearly escaped with my life. The reason why I'm talking with my head down and no emotions is because of my scar from the attack. It all started back here home with my daughter, brother, and I planning a trip out west. We all flew into Denver, Colorado, and seen a lot of different sights throughout Colorado and driving on up into Yellowstone National Park. One of our main events was to go ahead and do some backpacking and fishing into the wilderness. So, as we flew out and seen all the adventures in Colorado and up towards to Yellowstone, we finally approached the park and the main entrance. It was absolutely gorgeous. It was a beautiful day. We figured we would just go ahead and ride until we found a nice off-the-side road and take that and backpack to a stream and go fishing. And we did just that. The road wasn't really far off, and there were cars going up and down it, but we were able to find a little pull-off spot, and we parked, and we all had little backpacks, and in the backpacks we had our bear spray, a knife, a sandwich, our ID, our fishing license, and something to drink, and naturally our phones. So we were all gearing up to go out into the wilderness and hike and do some fishing. We had our backpacks, like I said, our fishing rods, and we were all wearing a pistol. The pistol I was wearing was my favorite Virginia Dragoon, my 44 mag. And the terrain was really easy because it was mostly all low-lying area with streams running through it, and easy walking, nothing hard, open territory off to the side, so you could see pine trees and naturally the mountains. Well, we were hiking back in there, before you know it, hour, 2 hours are gone, and well, we looked at each other and said, this is plenty far enough to hike, and there was a real nice stream in front of us, and my brother said, Jess, why don't me and you go down this way and fish, and Mike, why don't you go upstream and fish? And I said, okay, that sounds good. So they went on down to the upstream, and I went downstream, and I mean, it was a beautiful day. The sun was shining. You couldn't hear nothing other than this little stream in front of me. It couldn't have been no more than 20 feet wide, crisp water running. That's all you could hear, just the sounds of that water running, and clear as can be. And I mean, it felt like heaven. What little I know how close I did get to heaven that day. So, once again, I'm going downstream. I look back, I don't see Jessica or my brother. They're already out of sight. I figured, well, we have our phones. I'll just keep on hiking. So I'm hiking downstream, and I see a really nice area about probably 30 minutes after hiking. So I figured they were upstream. My brother and Jessica probably a good bit. I said to myself, well, this is far enough. So I go over to the stream, and I look down on the ground, and I see, a massive grizzly bear track. I've seen bear tracks before, not to this size. This was just unbelievable. Well, right there and then, I was thinking, well, maybe I better just go on back, because the track kind of looked fresh. And I was thinking, well, I have my pistol, and I have my bear spray, everything should be okay. I doubt if I'll see a grizz. And right there and then, spot the fish, and I kind of had the mind of the bear track. I'm looking around to make sure I don't see nothing, and I said, well, let me go on over here. And as I'm going over to the stream, I look across the stream, and it's real dense and thick, and I actually see little trails. And this is going through my mind as I'm walking over to the area that I want to fish. And I'm thinking, wow, a grizzly could easily just come running out of that brush and attacked me. So anyway, I have a little tackle box just with some nice little trout spinners, and I figure I'll put a spinner on and catch either a brook or a cutthroat. As a matter of fact, you could actually see them down in the water there, and they were cutthroat. So I cast one out, and I caught a real nice size cutthroat and reeled it in, took it off, and by now I forgot about the bear track. Threw the cutthroat back, caught another one. I couldn't wait to tell Chris and Jessica. So about 15 minutes in, I heard something in back of me, and right there and then I was thinking, oh my lord, and it's the grizzly bear. Well, I looked back behind me. Sure enough, it was a cub grizz. Right there and then, I knew that this track had to be the mother, because it surely wasn't that. And I was thinking, now I'm in danger, because if there's a baby grizz around, mama grizz is there, and that humans and grizz just don't get along. No sooner than I seen that grizz behind me, I heard the most ferocious, horrible growl just busting out of the thicket across the stream. No sooner I heard it, I seen it. It was a massive grizzly bear. I don't know how to describe it other than, say you're on a major highway with a Mack truck doing about 100 miles an hour, blowing its horn, and it's only 20 feet in front of you. I mean, it was just awful. I mean, I figured it was over. Well, that bear busted across the stream, and the stream's only 20 feet, so he was probably 25 feet away from me, and I didn't even know he was there until he roared like that. Well, I dropped my fishing rod, and I'm going to put my hand up to pull my pistol out. No sooner I got my hand on my pistol, he was in front of my face. He took a swipe with his paw like that, and when he did that, with the will and grace of God, I must have just went back a couple feet, just like that. He caught me across the top of my forehead, knocking me unconsciously on the ground. He must have knocked me a good 20, 30 feet. Unbelievable. Lucky. I don't know how I can say that I didn't get killed. I was knocked out. It's God's will that that bear did not come over and finish me off. I don't know how long I was laying there knocked out, but when I came to, the bear naturally was gone, thank God. I was just drenched in blood. So the only thing I could think of at that time, well, infection could set in. So I wasn't too horribly far from the stream. I kind of crawled over and I stuck my face in the water to clean my face. It was so painful because as the water was flowing over my face, I could feel the skin flapping in the water, tearing on my face. It was absolutely horrible. So I cleaned up as best as I could, got back up off the bank, and went over to, I don't know, about 50 feet away, there was a huge boulder. So I figure I'll put my back up against that boulder, and if the bear comes back, I'll have So I take my backpack off and I get my phone out to call Chris and Jessica. Well, there was no service, and I mean, it wasn't too late in the evening, but it was late enough to where I was worried. I figured, well, they'll come back looking for him, but still, I needed somebody now, because I didn't want to bleed out. Once again, I'm covered in blood. Don't know if the bear's going to come back. I had my pistol up against a big boulder, praying to God that this thing don't come back. Well, finally, I tried the phone again, and I got service. It wasn't good service, and I told Jessica and Chris what happened, and they weren't really that far away. And not much after I called them, they were there to help me. And thank God they were there, or I wouldn't be here telling this story. So I just want to show you what I survived. No, I'm just kidding. It's all a joke. I am fine. I had eyelid surgery. I hope y'all like that, and I hope y'all liked my story. I just want to thank y'all for subscribing. I want to thank y'all for watching. With all kidding aside, if you ever go where there are grizzly bears, you make sure that you are carrying a pistol, rifle, or bear spray, or all three. Because what I just talked about could very well happen, and very little people live to tell about it. And I want to especially thank all the veterans for all what they have done for us. God bless them and their families. Just remember, be someone important. Be yourself. Until next time, God bless. See ya.